Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carol at Big Cat Rescue, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. If you did, how about shouting out in the comments here who you spent your Thanksgiving with, and some of the things maybe that you thought about being thankful for. I know I am certainly thankful for every one of you. And I'm thankful for this tiger who's having a nap. Yeah, is Andre having a nap? And Amanda's not having a nap. And she's not having any silliness out of me either. Thought we'd go out and see if we can find who's doing evening meds and snacks. We had a terrible snafu today in the gift shop at bigcatrescue.biz. We sent out a email telling everybody about our buy one get one deal for bracelets, like the ones I wear all the time. And unfortunately, when the staff entered the information about the bracelets into bigcatrescue.biz, they didn't put a shipping weight. And without a shipping weight, you can't get the cheap USPS shipping. So it sends it like by FedEx or something. So you're ordering a $15 bracelet and paying $18 in shipping. And Jamie about lost her mind. She found 50 products that had been entered recently because she's been so busy doing things like cage maintenance that she hasn't been able to stay on top of the store. And new people entering stuff just weren't filling in all of the information and were skipping the part about the weight. And without a weight, it was charging people just ridiculous amounts of shipping. So Jamie's fixed that. If you went there and you thought you were going to buy a bracelet or anything else and got a ridiculous amount of shipping, your shipping should have been like $4.95, not $18. Please consider going back and doing it again now that she's got the weights updated. But that just breaks my heart, because here we've been for the last 2 days advertising it and sending out the alerts, and I can't imagine how many people, and a lot of people even bought it and paid the shipping, and thank you very much every one of you who did that. But that's just not right, and there's no way I can refund your shipping because it sent everything by US or by UPS instead of USPS. But it's fixed now. Live and learn, I guess. Looks like this might be the meds cart. Yeah, Jamie gets a bad rap for being a control freak, but that's why she's a control freak, because she makes sure that stupid stuff doesn't happen. Or we'll certainly die trying. I see you, Miss Chaos. Is that Diablo getting a snack? Diablo's not going to let me come anywhere near him, but yeah. Hey. Hello, little beauty. Yeah. Am I irritating him? Hello, Linda.
Hello.
Who's next on your list?
I'm going to Des,
Okay.
and then I have to go out to Andre and Amanda, and possibly stuff here. He's already eaten, but Afton seems to think that he might want more, which is always a good sign.
Would be lovely.
That would be lovely.
There's Diablo. One of our interns, Tanya Shute, just did a really nice 360 video about Des. And what she's doing is, even though she's working all day as an intern, at night she's editing 360 footage that was stuff that I had been stockpiling, thinking that I had a person who was going to be editing it, who ended up not doing that. And so I ended up with just gigabytes and gigabytes of footage that was not being edited. And so she turned that into a really nice piece on his rescue story.
Stick today. Come on. Gotta get closer. Come on. Come on. You're drooling. I see you drooling. Come on now. Come on. There. Oh. Come on, I gotta go get it on stick. I don't have one. I don't know what I'm going to do. Come on, love. Oh, yeah. That's a good boy. Good boy. Good boy.
Bria's doing fine. Was it worth it?
I don't know. It was a long walk from the other side of the for him. Okay.
We're still trying to get the coloring book done. You would not think it was that hard to pick paper for a coloring book from a printing company. It's like, for goodness sakes, you guys know what a coloring book is? That's what we want. We want a coloring book. But instead, you got to pick out what pound paper and what pound cover, and the pounds they use for the covers and for the papers are different, are the same numbers but different weights, which makes it really confusing. And we don't want the coloring book to be something that you guys can't use or that bleeds through. So it's been just a huge hassle trying to get it nailed down. But once we do, they're usually pretty good about printing quickly. We thought for sure it would be done before the Big Cat Times went out, because it's the same company that prints the Big Cat Times. But it just did not happen. Well, Cameron's awake. That's the first step. I feel for you if your whole day is consumed with paper and weights. Because you're probably dealing with people like us who have no freaking idea what we want. We just want a coloring book, for goodness sake. It's been a long time since I've colored in a coloring book, but it seems to me that the papers were always like the same and the covers are always like the same. So it's like, why isn't there just a default pick coloring book pages? These guys could be made to feel better by the good wishes and telepathic thoughts. They would be in excellent health and they'd live forever. Wouldn't you? You'd just live forever. Amanda, I'm not looking at you. No need to get testy. Row? Did you say row? What's that Miss Linda got? What's she got? Oh, what's on the cart? It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so yummy. Don't fall. Well, that's interesting, Diana. I'll have to send that to Jamie. Since it's an adult coloring book, we figure a lot of people use magic markers, so we don't want it to bleed through. He's like, oh, I can't go backwards. I don't do backwards.
You're so fast, little man. Trey. All right, Amanda, come over here. Amanda. Then you come here. Amanda, come on. Amanda, come on. Come on.
See if I can get the door while you...
Obviously, he's tied it and too smart and too fast.
Ah! I got the wrong side of this. Good girl.
One more. So good. Okay. You knock it. Come on, Trey. Trey, come on.
Is that your version of running? I'm running. This is my running. Diana, the publishing house is actually sending the paper weights for us to look at. I appreciate you offering. But probably by the time you could get it here in the mail, theirs will have arrived. Yeah, Susan's right. If you multiply that 22 times 6, that would be the equivalent of what they would be if they were people. So it's absolutely amazing that they look as good as they do. Nylene, I don't understand the question, what happens when we close? There's always people living here on the property, so the cats have security. We have security cameras all over the place. We are closed to the public on Thursdays, but there's always, every day, people come in and feed the cats and clean the cages and change the water out and give out enrichment hand out meds. That happens every day, so there's never a day that we close for animal care. And they do stay out all night. Most zoos, because they're afraid of liability, they lock their cats up in concrete cells at night, and at night is when cats are most active, so it's really unfair to the animal that they spend their most active time being locked in a jail cell with no access to the outside. We just have to be extra careful to make sure people don't come in here to harm them, so that they can have the freedom of being outside. That's so yummy. He loves that ground diet. You're right, Noir. It's not fair for the animals. Diana says he likes to swim at night. I get a lot of video of him the next morning of all the things he did overnight.
Dre.
And now he's thirsty. Gotta go and drink water. Diana's asking if Cameron's been eating better in the cooler temperatures. Do you know?
I know that he ate, he's already eaten like, I think 7 pounds today.
Oh, that is good.
Which is good for him. And yesterday I think he ate about the same, maybe 6. So we're really happy about his intake the last few days. So between the combination of his, yeah, it's cooler, and they're giving him his, they got the combination of his meds going in at certain times during the day that stimulate his appetite, and then so that we can then feed him like 3 hours later. And that helps, because if you give him an appetite stimulant at the end of the day and then we leave, that doesn't really do it right.
She just made you a nice
Dre!
big pile here.
Andre!
Don't you want to come see this? Oh no, we're gonna go play. Because you're adorable.
Come here, Dre.
Row, row. All the action's over here, son. I know, you're so chuffy. Oof, 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 oof.
Andre, Papa. Dre.
He forgot what he was doing. Oh, we had to pee, okay. Well, that explains it. Yeah, the problem with leaving food out for Hoover at night is it was attracting domestic cats who could get killed, and vultures.
Come on. You come back in here.
Let's go over here. Yeah.
Dre.
It's over here.
Handsome.
All right, everybody. I gotta get going. I'm running out of daylight. Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. I hope you had a great day yesterday for Thanksgiving. And remember, we are so very thankful for every one of you here.